Good evening and welcome here to Fast Fridays presented by Maconi Setup Shop. Tonight, we have the late model stocks here at Richmond as our monthly money race with a 3-foot custom trophy or $250 cash to the race winner. For those of you who haven't joined us here before on Fast Fridays, this is a weekly series presented by Maconi Setup Shop, featuring a varying car and track combination each and every week. And with this revamped format we're seeing now, the drivers enter our qualifying races, 3 of them that lead into our monthly money races, such as tonight with the top 20 in points automatically locking in to the money race. My name is Robert Hill Jr. Joining me in the booth tonight is Billy Blanco, William White, alongside David Kreutz working the controls as our producer. Will, tonight, not only are these drivers racing for some awesome prizes, but they're doing so here in the late model stock car, classic American short track racing style, which is only fitting the day after Independence Day. What can we expect to see here tonight as these drivers get ready to do battle out here for $250 or a custom trophy?
Well, you said it yourself. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are in the world. You said it yourself, Robert. It's classic American short track racing. We're going back to our roots, obviously. It is the 5th of July, day after Independence Day, and we are going to see some of America's finest racers go head-to-head for $250 or a 3-foot trophy on one of America's finest short tracks. 14 degrees of banking in the corners, 8 on the front straightaway. For a 3/4 of a mile short track, it's fairly multi-groove, so I'm expecting a lot of tightly knit, close racing tonight. Perhaps a bit of bump and running towards the later stages.
Definitely bumping and running towards the later stages as we take a look at the starting grid here tonight. Brian Gravel, I should say, on the pole alongside Michael Curran in the 24 machine. Noah Turpik and Jordan Brinkley make up row number 2. Tyler Bowers and a consistent front runner in these money races, Gavin Gleitzman, going to make up row number 3, Will.
Absolutely. Looking a bit further back, row number 4, Joshua Fireball Coolbreath in the 22, and Vinny Tigner on his outside there. Eli Russell in the 39 and Thomas Haley will be P9 and P10. Josh Cossack in the 4 and Jacob Johnson round out the top 12.
Row number 7 tonight belongs to Michael Hafladason alongside Rick Schneider. Just behind them, Joseph McWhirter and Matt Mingo, with TJ Hanley and Jared Ebker making up the rest of that top 18.
Just beyond there, in this top 24, 19th and 20th, Jonathan Sellers in the 83, Justin Potts there in the 38, a bit of a reverse going on there. 21st, it's the boss man, the namesake, Jeff Maconi in the 03. You'll have Harrison Whitehead in the 40, on his outside Cam Bell and Stephen Waller, 23rd and 24th.
Getting down to the tail end of the drivers that have qualified here tonight. This is the machine that's fueled by pepperoni and greasy cheese. It's Brayton Laster starting 25th with Jordan Booth to his outside. Jared Davis and Billy Rickett going to make up row 14 with Robbie Ardrey and Tyler Merritt rounding out the top 30. And I believe, Will, that's going to do it for the drivers that have taken time here tonight. We will be joined by some of those drivers as well, such as Alexander Ortega, Latham Joyner, and others that are showing a little bit further down on that grid. Jackson Casper, one of those that will take the start as well.
Absolutely. So we have a very full field. Fast Fridays tends to have a field size around 10 to 15 cars for its usual qualifying races. We are 30 plus strong around the high banks of Richmond Raceway. So a lot of pride on the line for these drivers. It's going to be a very competitive race, and I wouldn't expect anything less when you've got big prizes on the line.
I'm going to ask you a question here as the pace car is still out there on the racetrack. Who do you got winning this thing tonight? I know it's tough as we don't know a ton of these guys, but I think we've seen enough of them a few times to know who's going to be the guys to beat.
Definitely. Well, it's beauty of Fast Fridays. You have new faces each and every week, but I'm always in these money races going to look towards the regulars, not least outside pole sitter Michael Curran. David Kreutz on the buttons already knew who I was talking about before I said his name. He's won a couple money races in the past. He knows how to show up on the big occasions. He's a hallmark of Maconi Fast Fridays. I'm back in the 24 to get it done tonight.
I'm going to go with the familiar name to both you and I, William White. He's going to be starting deep in the field. I'm going to go with Latham Joyner to get it done here tonight. He's one of those aggressive short track racers, knows how to get it done. Fred, the pace car driver, he's done his pace laps. He's headed pit side, and we are green here at Richmond. We're money racing for Fast Fridays, and out front, Brian Gravel on the loud pedal. We're already looking 3 wide. Here comes Tyler Bowers to the inside. Jacob Johnson with a bit of an issue towards the rear. It looks like he's going to exit the servers. We're under caution.
Yeah, a bit of a stack him up there on the exit of turn 2. I don't think anyone's facing the wrong direction there. But you see, just as they phase past the turn 3 entry cam there, you see a couple late model stock cars with some damage to their bodywork. A big concertina effect coming out of turn 2. We saw some free abreast racing. It's ended in calamity for some of our drivers early doors.
Yeah, we saw the likes of Tyler Bowers 3 wide up towards the front. Looks like we had some 3 wide action back at the tail of the field as well. That was the 20 of Jared Davis that we just saw on the screen. Not sure exactly where the caution triggered. Looks like we're seeing it right there. Great work by David Croy. Oh, wow. Somebody got up in the air right there. Is that Jeff? No, that's not Jeff Maconi. He's down on the inside. But somebody in a white and red machine. He has 03 on the side of the door. Also got a bit of air there. That looked like quite the moment, but Rick Schneider going to be one of those involved in that latest incident. Not sure who the other one was that got a piece of that, Will, but somebody got jacked up from the rear end. They were staring down at the racetrack, and that is never the way you want to be, especially so early in the event. I'm just looking through, seeing if I can find who that other 03 was. Was it Harrison Whitehead?
Yeah, another name that's familiar to us too, Robert.
Yeah.
Harrison
Unfortunately,
Whitehead, as well as Jared Epker as well, facing the pavement there on the exit of turn number 2 there, almost simultaneously getting sent up into the air. It was, bit of contact under caution there, just a couple car lengths behind them. The 42 just getting tanked in the rear left there. I don't think much damage done to the Jordan Booth machine, but keeping us entertained under yellow flag.
Definitely keeping us entertained, that's for sure. But something to watch here that I saw on the initial start there. Obviously, first off, one thing that we pointed out before this race here tonight, this is going to fly by here tonight. They're doing lap times about 22 seconds, pace laps under a minute. So we should be able to get this race in under an hour, I would say, if we can get some good green flag running in. But watch Tyler Bowers on the upcoming restart, William. He's going to start inside of row number 3 in the 57 machine. He went 3 wide right off the initial start, and had we not gone under caution, I think he would have been 3 wide for the lead a couple seconds later.
He definitely obviously looked very, very potent on that start there. Obviously, the initial race start is at the discretion of the green flag, so everyone essentially has to react to the green flag rather than to the leader. So I'm expecting this restart to go a little differently. Obviously, the 05 of Brian Gravel will have control of the restart this time around. But if Tyler Bowers can get a similarly good restart, I've no doubt that, with what's on the line and how quickly this race will go by, I've no doubt that he will absolutely be aggressive. Look to the inside of like Michael Curran and company in front of him to try and make up some positions on those restarts where everyone's bunched up together.
Another guy we didn't really mention in those opening laps, but somebody to watch at the event tonight, the 4 machine of Josh Kosick. He was a contender in the last money race, Will. You know that, I know that, and I think he's going to be one to watch as well. He went toe-to-toe with Michael Curran most of that previous money race, and tonight currently finds himself up there in that 3rd row. I believe he's on the inside of row number 3. Yeah, there he is. He's got 44 on the door, listed as number 4 in the server, but definitely going to be a car to watch here throughout tonight's event.
He most certainly will be. The number 4, Josh Kosick, currently sitting in P7. Got the 44 on the side. So we're looking to channel his inner Lewis Hamilton and try and get another race victory. But Brian Gravel will be leading the field to the green this time by. He'll have the number 23 of Turpak on his outside. That'll be your front row, Michael Curran. Down the spot off the restart, looking to right those wrongs from the initial green flag. But we are back underway, and Brian Gravel off to a good start. Turpak not off to as good of a restart. And here comes Kosick 3 wide. Tyler Bowers not as good off the line. This time he's looking to gain a couple spots. The 4 to the inside of Tyler Bowers there, and he's going to take it off a turn 2 up to 5th.
Josh Kosick just clears ahead of Tyler Bauer. Is going to work his way up into position number 5, but up ahead of him, side by side, Michael Curran on the inside, Noah Turpek up on the high side. Just behind them, Jordan Brinkley up in that fight as well. To 3-car battle, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Already approaching a 10th of a way through this one. Working lap number 8 now as we're watching some tight side-by-side battles there. It's Michael Hafedazen alongside the 51 machine of Gavin Gleitzman up to his outside. Of course, Gleitzman, a perennial front runner here in these money races, looking to take some more of Jeff's money here tonight. Somebody's having an incident a little bit further back. It actually looked like Jeff Maconi getting into it with Justin Potts there. Now Harrison Whitehead going 3 wide towards the rear as well. Great work once again by David Kreutz, capturing all the racing action for us here tonight on Maconi Entertainment. Cam Bell with an issue with his connection. Unfortunately, looks like he has fallen victim to some connection issues here tonight. Will?
Certainly, we're just looking still at this battle. Rich Snyder, Harrison Whitehead inside and outside, looking from the bonnet here of the 19th place machine. Rich Snyder just has the advantage there as Latham Joyner in the 30, looking to the outside of 0-3. That's Harrison Whitehead there on the bottom. This should fight for P18. Harrison Whitehead, Latham Joyner, 2 names that are familiar to ourselves. We know what they're capable of, and I'm sure they'll be making up some positions. But before the night is done, they themselves are now jockeying for P18. Latham Joyner giving up that fight for the time being. Good little switchback maneuver. We certainly are. A bit of a crossover off of turn 2. Brilliant there from Latham Joyner, and he's going to look to take P18 from Harrison Whitehead through turns 3 and 4. He's going to get that move done.
Now, you know what, Will? Before this race, you mentioned, will the bumper be used? A guy like Latham Joyner, if he has a chance to get up to the front at the end of this, he's using more than just the front bumper. He's using the radiator. He's using the damn engine mounts to move guys out of the way. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to try to get it done as we watch Jeff Maconi on the screen now. He's up 8 spots, started 21st, currently running 13th. He's in a bit of a battle there with Jared Ebker, trying to catch up to Matt Mingo as well. A couple drivers that are on the move so far. Joyner up 15 spots. Casper up 13 spots. He's just like a ghost working his way up through the field there, currently sitting in position number 20.
Absolutely, just a 10th of the way through this race. And ready some big movers. See 3 wide here. That's Harrison Whitehead there on the high side. He's got the number 10, the number 32 below him. Now Harrison Whitehead's going to just get in front. Contact there between himself and the number 10 machine. They're going to keep it going straight. Almost ended in absolute chaos and tears for those drivers, but they keep it straight as there's a driver bouncing off the outside wall there, I believe. Still the 32 applying the pressure to their 10 in front of him, but they still keep it straight for the time being. Almost a dreadful, dreadful situation there on the front straight.
One thing to make note of here, and we hope it doesn't come into play as we're watching a battle, that's the 35 machine that's currently in a battle there with the 44 Kosick. They're going to go around up towards the front of the field. The 35 of Michael Hafedazen gonna go around Josh. Oh no!
Oh no!
Well, what I was just gonna mention before they decided to wreck was that these drivers do have access to one fast repair.
They're gonna need it. I think I'm seeing a lot of torn up race cars. I think that was Flitterson and Bowers. I think they made contact. I just caught that on my own replay. I have a look at the replay here. It's out of turn 2.
So they were battling with Josh Kosick. I believe Kosick flings down just a little bit. The 57 of Bowers just dives down to the inside. Nowhere really to go from the start of that one. If he would have backed out a little bit, I think they would have been okay. But unfortunately, just going to pile in. I'm not sure who collected themselves in that a little bit later. That might have been Gavin Gleitzman. Yeah, they got a piece of that. A bunch of these guys coming down pit road. So, Will, I think it's going to be a good time for us to talk about an upcoming charity race that's going to be taking place here on iRacing. It's coming up on Wednesday, July the 17th. It's for multiple sclerosis, so MS Society. What you can do is you can head over to the Maconi Setup Shop socials, Maconi Entertainment socials, and have a chance to potentially win your way into this race against some great celebrities from the real racing world. And of course, if you donate as well, you could have an opportunity to work your way into this race. It's going to be street stocks for the winners and other donors, while the celebrities race the GT3 cars. So that should be a fun multi-class event that's coming up here in just 12 days.
Definitely will be a lot of fun to watch. Obviously, benefiting a great cause, Multiple Sclerosis Society as well. It's a charity race that's been going on for a few years now, partnering up with iRacing, and it's had always a lot of celebrities. Chad Knaus, namely, I know is a big supporter. Steve Myers as well, obviously executive up at iRacing. It's a brilliant cause, and there's no reason not to try and take part. It's for an amazing cause, and the racing as well. It's going to be quite fun. 2 hours at Oschersleben, quite a fun racetrack if you've done some GT.
I'm glad you said the name of the race or the name of the track, because I was not even attempting that, Will.
Yeah, you North Americans can't pronounce anything.
How do you say it?
Oschersleben. It's German.
Oschersleben.
Oschersleben. It's in
Oschersleben. Okay.
There you go.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, let's re-rack the field here. Brian Gravel, Michael Curran on the front row, Jordan Brinkley, Noah Turpak, row number 2, Josh Kosick, Joseph McWhirter, row 3, Vinny Tigner, Thomas Haley, row 4, Matt Mingo, and some guy named Jeff Maconi, gonna restart on the outside of row number 5.
Yeah, Macaroni's having a very impressive debut. He's up 11 positions, so him and Matt
his
Mingo
debut. He's never been around here before.
I've not seen him, but I'll tell you what, he looks good, and he's driving very, very well.
I wonder if that's Greg Maconi's brother.
It might be. The names sound similar. They could be related.
I'm just waiting for a text message from Jeff. Already almost a quarter of the way through this one, and so far it's been all Brian Gravel, Michael Curran, and Jordan Brinkley up there at the front of the field. But man, you got to watch guys like Jeff Maconi. Obviously, he's gained a bunch of spots here by not going down pit road. But in addition to that, he's gained a handful by himself. So he does have some pace here, currently running there in that 10th position. Maybe has something for the top 5. Don't know if he necessarily has anything as of yet for Gravel and Curran, but that's going to come down to who has the tires at the end of this one. As Fred, the pace car driver, heads pit side. We're getting set to go green, and we are green. Brian Gravel on the loud pedal. He's going to get a good jump on that one as they're looking 3 wide behind him. That's Turpak up on the high side, Curran in the middle, and Brinkley down on the bottom. Nearly contact between the 23 and the 24 machines of Curran and Turpak. Just behind them, Josh Kosick on the move here, Will. He's jumped up a handful of spots as issues for Justin Potts. He's going to take it pit side in the 38. No, he's going to stay out. So whatever happened to him, he's been able to gather it back up and continue on. Yeah,
Justin Potts involved in that last caution there, the 38 machine. Running into some trouble. We still see some front end damage on that machine. Manages to keep it straight, though. He's still on the racetrack, still chugging along. And that is what we like to see. A little bit further back, we're seeing a side-by-side battle there. We've got the 26 and the 12 side-by-side for, I believe, that is P8 and P9. Yes, that is Thomas Haley up on the high side. And that is Matt Mingo just below him in P9. So that's a fight for P9. Now P8 for the 26 machine. Haley up a spot and Mingo down a spot. That battle is now settled. Look a bit further back. I believe that's Latham Joyner.
It is indeed.
That's it. There we go.
2 of the strong arms here tonight in Joyner and Gleitzman, currently just outside the top 10, 1 and 2 positions behind Jeff Maconi, who currently holds on to that 11th spot. Jeff's taking a look down to the inside of Jared Ebker there. Wasn't quite able to get there that time. So going to file back in the line, but we are watching Latham Joyner and Gavin Gleitzman battling it out for positions number 12 and 13, just behind Jeff Maconi, as Jared Ebker going to have a big impact with the outside wall. He's able to continue on, though. Doesn't even lose a spot, but we'll see how much that damage is going to affect that 34. And if I'm Jeff Maconi, I'm almost hesitant of going to the inside of him coming off of these corners.
Definitely. I think he might have had one tag too many with the outside wall. Jared Epker there suffering a little bit with performance. Both Maconi and Epker get massively loose. Latham Joyner going to give Epker just a little bit of a tap to the rear.
Yeah, why not?
That he is there. Gleitzman in hot pursuit just behind them there. Could put these 4 under a blanket. Maconi looking to perfect the move on Jared Epker. He will go up a spot going into turn 1 here. Jared Epker unable to fight that particular battle back, as now Latham Joyner looking to the inside of the 34. As I believe that's Thomas Haley just in front of them, nicking the outside wall. No harm, no foul for the moment. We'll see if that affects him later on. But Jared Epker going backwards a little bit.
It definitely looks like the tires are starting to play an effect on these drivers, pushing a little bit more, coming out of the corners, getting up into the outside wall. Now that right side damage going to come into play for some of these guys. And if you're already wearing on those tires, yellow flags. So I think we're probably going to see a handful of guys come down pit road. I believe it involves the 127 of Robbie Ardrey that's going to go around. Stephen Waller involved in that one as well in the 67 machine. We'll see in just a second what happened to them.
Rich Schneider there just behind him. He's going into turn 4, I believe.
Yeah, that's down into turns number 3 and 4. I believe the wreck happens off of 2. So this is kind of setting it up here right now. Waller in the 67 machine. Going to get a little bit of help, it looks like, coming off the corner. Yeah. That's...
Oh.
Yeah, nothing he could have done differently there. He was kind of forced around in that one. The 127 of Ardrey, though, he wasn't even really involved, just got collected and picked up a decent amount of damage. Looks like left side kind of chalked up on that one. So we'll see what happens with him as the night goes on. But Will, obviously, looks like pit stops are starting here. Noah Turpak, Thomas Haley, Michael Hafadason, Rick Schneider, TJ Hanley, all down pit road. That's going to leave us the top 14 out there on the racetrack right now. Why don't we go ahead and see if we can have a quick word with one of the guys that stayed out on the racetrack? Will, let's see if maybe you can get yourself a word with Jeff Maconi.
Certainly can. Jeff Maconi, William and Robert up in the booth. You got a copy, my friend?
I do indeed.
Well, story of your race so far, you started 21st. You're up to 8th. So on paper, looks like a pretty good night. You're a third of the way in. How you feeling out there?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm shocked that it's actually lap 33 already. Well, lap 31. I hadn't even realized that. My last lap at speed was a 22.78. My fastest was a 22.70. I've been taking care of the tires and making passes as they've come up. So I stayed out here. I may come to regret it, but I think that track position is going to be more important. But if I had known I was a third of the way through the race, maybe pit now and not pit later. I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out, but I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm in decent shape.
Bubba, any questions for our main man, Jeff Maconi in the 03?
Yeah, Jeff, I got to ask you, if you get this one done tonight, you going cash or you going trophy?
Trophy. 100% trophy. Those things are so cool. They're made out of a place called Din Bros in West Springfield, Massachusetts. We're not sponsored by them or partnered with them or anything. I just found them to be the absolute best at it. So, yeah, it's a 1 meter tall trophy. It's customized with your name, with the event name, and the car you drove, all that fun stuff. So, I'm really excited. I think so far we've done 4 races where people have had the option, and they've taken the trophy twice and the cash twice. So, we'll see what ends up being the choice here for the winner. If it's me, though, and I hope it is, I am taking that 1 meter tall trophy. That's going to be really cool.
Well, Jeff, before we get you back up to the team, any shout-outs you want to give, sponsors you want to thank?
Well, got to thank everyone, Maconi Setup Shop, Maconi Entertainment, that makes this all happen. Bruzy Racewear for the gloves and boots that I use and all the merch that they make for us. Victory Sim for the rig that I'm racing in. Ram the Snack Guy, WSMN Broadcasting, everyone, whoa, as we check up here, everyone that's involved, iRacing, eNASCAR, 2 huge partners of ours. Thankful to them as well. Should be a really good race here.
All right, best of luck, Jeff.
Thank you.
That was Jeff Maconi, brother of Greg Maconi, currently running in position. Where did he go? Position number 7 here, William White, as we get set for the upcoming restart. Actually looks like he's 8th up there on the outside. Once again, Brian Gravel, Jordan Brinkley on the front row, and we are green once again.
Looks like Brian Gravel really doing a good job at maximising his control on the restarts there and the jump that he can get there. Jordan Brinkley takes a brief look to the inside. We're 3 wide, though. I think we're 4 wide up towards the back of the pack. They're around the top 10, still 3 wide there for 3rd place. Curran there, and I believe that's Joseph Water there. In 4th place, we're under yellow again. We're still seeing 3 wide. Incident further back, Robert.
Tyler Bauer's going to be the one to go around this time here, Will. We saw him up at the front a little bit earlier on in that 57 machine. Unfortunately, since he's been up there, it has not gone to plan for the 57 of Bauer's. We'll take a look here on the Maconi Entertainment replay machine and see what happened to him.
So going into turn one, everyone's stacked with the restart. We're already seeing 3 wide there. Harrison Whitehead beating the proverbial meat in the sandwich there. Almost seeing like an offset 4 wide. And I think Tyler Bowers, I think he's just on the inside there. Yeah, innocent bystander there. The 23 there, I believe that's Noah Turpak.
Noah Turpak, yeah.
And to the inside. Thankfully, not too much contact with the wall. As I thought Tyler Bowers was just going to send himself into the outside wall. I think he just about scooted past it there. So, night not over by any means for I think anyone in that incident, but certainly a setback unwanted by the 57 machine.
We'll have to keep an eye on the 23 of Noah Turpak, Will. He does have a meatball flag, meaning that he's got some required damage, and looks like he just took his 1 fast repair, so he should be A-okay. But if Noah Turpak's involved in an additional incident here tonight, chances are it's going to be game over for the 23.
Yeah, it's the risk you bear with this close quarters, big grid racing, obviously. Short tracks, you're prone to more cautions, more contact, and these sort of things can happen. And you know, you're definitely susceptible to being caught in it as an innocent bystander, having done nothing wrong. You know, Tyler Bowers being kind of the latest added to that list, as well as many others that I'm sure that that's not done for the night. So hopefully we see as many cars seeing the checkered flag as possible. That's what makes us love racing, of course. You don't want to see just 2-3 cars puttering around to the checkered flag because everyone else has junked it. That's partly why we have those fast repairs at these drivers' dispensations. So hopefully we'll see a bit more green flag racing from here on out, have more cars at the end.
And of course, usually at this point, Will, this is when we would go ahead and open up the schedule, tell you about when the next Fast Friday race is. But this is the season finale for this segment of Maconi Fast Fridays. I believe we're going to take 2 or 3 weeks off and then come back with another session there, most likely probably beginning of August. We'll come back with the next Fast Fridays, but be sure to stay tuned to Maconi Setup Shop and Maconi Entertainment on all your social media channels. Jeff and team will certainly have all those updates out for you. Let you know when the next Fast Fridays is, when the next big events are that we're going to be hosting. And of course, always come and check out the Top Split C Fixed as well as Road to Pro. We have some great coverage there on Maconi Entertainment, along with some of our broadcasting partners as well. They carry some of the other splits. So always a good time, and can't wait to get back to it as Fred the Pace Car driver heads pit side once again. Brian Gravel, Jordan Brinkley, and we are green, William.
Absolutely, again, another decent start for Brian Gravel. Going to just about get clear of Jordan Brinkley, but I'm looking for a switcheroo. There he goes, Jordan Brinkley. Looking into the inside, going to try and get a nose in there. Gravel going to pinch his Cossack way up the track there. And already an incident off the line. Again, further back, we'll have to see how that has transpired.
It involves Noah Turpak. Just took his fast repair. Guess what? He's got another meatball flag. Looks like it also involved Michael Hafedason and Harrison Whitehead in that incident. But for Noah Turpak, I believe this is going to be night over, and he literally just took that fast repair just prior to this restart. You see Barney the Flagman waving that green flag, and for Turpak, yeah.
Wow. That came out of nowhere. Harrison Whitehead already facing perpendicular to the racetrack, and
Hafedason did take credit for it. So not sure if maybe there was some sort of lag or something that happened there with Michael Hafedason to bring that caution out. But as mentioned, for Noah Turpak, night over. He has packed it up. He has decided, I would say head home, but he's already home. So he headed to the living room, grabbed himself a cold drink to sit here and watch the rest of Maconi Fast Fridays here tonight.
Certainly has, and someone else has a meatball flag. Very unfortunately, the 40 with the 03 on the side of it. Harrison Whitehead has just taken to pit road here, just in front of these guys. You'd imagine he'd be going at least 1 lap down, assuming he hasn't used his fast spade. There he goes. He has used it, so we'll see if he can stay on the lead lap in the pits there as they just circle around, led by Brian Gravel out of turn 4. Still under caution for, I want to say, the 5th time tonight, maybe 6th. So hopefully I know I said this last caution, but I hope we start to get a bit more green flag racing, because it's what we like about these sort of late model races on these multi-groove tracks. They tend to get very interesting after about a dozen laps or so.
The thing with short track racing, and keep in mind, like, that's the background that I come from, is short track racing. Now dirt track racing is, you're going to get those stretches where you get good green flag runs, and then you get into a rhythm of a couple cautions here and there. Cautions breed cautions, and then all of a sudden it's almost like, not that the drivers get yelled at, but they kind of yell at themselves in their head, and all of a sudden they clean it up a little bit. So hopefully that's what we see on this restart. Fred, the pace car driver, has made the turn down to pit road. Barney the flagman has the green flag in hand, and we're going to hand the field back over to Brian Gravel. And it does look a lot more uniform this time, Will. Not so much craziness throughout the field. Tyler Bowers is 3 wide in the rear, now back to 2 wide, but I believe they've settled down just a little bit.
Yeah,
and as I say that, they're diving down to the inside. And
they're around. Oh,
never mind.
Oh god, that's a big one. Yeah, you kind of knew as soon as they went off frame with, I think it was Joseph McWhorter there, just facing the wrong way, just off frame. You kind of knew as they slid up that was going to be
yikes,
a big one.
Yeah, that was a big one. As we watched the replay, I'm not even going to try to break this one down. You can give it a go, Will, but that was just a mess.
I can certainly try and break it down. I know some things that have been broken down, that's engines and wheel arches and whatnot. It started with the 41 of Joseph McWhorter getting turned around, going into turn 3, and then they all slide up. And very reminiscent of the massive pileup that happened, I want to say in 2009 at Talladega in the Cup Series, where Tony Stewart went up on his side, went upside down. It looked a lot like
Don't
that.
you mean every race at Talladega?
Well,
where somebody almost goes on their lid and they stack up in the corner? But this is short track race. Like this is common at the short tracks where stuff like this happens. You get an incident. Half of these guys are probably not even heavily damaged. It's just they had nowhere to go. The track blocks itself. You don't want to go down to the inside because somebody's down there. You're going to hit them. You don't want to go up because you don't want to drive into the wall. You either try to spin yourself out to avoid the wreck, or you just hit the brakes as hard as you. Ooh, that looked like it was about to be bad right there.
Yeah.
Or you just hit the brakes and hope you just skid into the incident.
Yeah, there's a lot of, when you see that sort of, sliding up from the inside all the way up to the outside, and it's going to be a track blocker. Honestly, it's not much you can do. As an incoming driver, you kind of just pray. There's not much wheeling your way through it. You just get on the brakes, stick it down a couple of gears, and then just hope that it stops before you stop.
Two of the Maconi boys are inside the top 10 now, Will. I don't know if you noticed that.
Go.
Jeff Maconi currently running third. The Pizza Man, Brayton Laster, up into position number 7 now.
There we go. So we're seeing some Maconi esports drivers.
We'll talk to Brayton under the next caution, depending on if he stays out or not. This one has been shortened, so we're coming to 1 to green this time.
So I think we're starting to shorten cautions now, get some quickie cautions so that we can get back racing quicker and hopefully chalk up some green flag laps, really get this racing underway. It's just been north of half an hour, we're just under halfway through. So even in a race that I would say has been fairly heavy on the caution side of things, still scheduled to finish in about an hour. The laps really ticking off quickly at Richmond tonight.
Hey, Will, why don't you take a little peek at pit road at the 4 of Josh Kozik as he's driving down. He's a little bit sideways.
If I can find him. There he is. Oh,
and actually, I think he was able to get his fast repair, so Kozik looks okay, but he was absolutely crab walking coming down pit road. That car was sideways, but speaking of sideways, Fred, the pace car driver, has taken it sideways down to pit road, and we're back under green already. Brian Gravel, Jordan Brinkley, Jeff Maconi going to be 3 wide already.
We've got a bit of hairy on there with 32 of Jackson Casper and the 35 Michael Flitterson, with a little bit of contact just after the green flag. No harm, no foul between those two drivers. That's a fight for what was 5th is now Alex Ortega to the inside of the Flitterson there. That is now the fight for 5th there. On the outside, there is the 35. Looking a bit further back.
Ortega started dead last in this one, Will. He's currently up to 5th. That's impressive.
Really well. He's up 26 spots there in the number 10 machine. So Alexander Ortega doing really, really well at this point in the run-in.
Or just really, really lucky.
Well, you have to have luck in racing, don't you?
True.
At least
True.
I would not, you know. Yeah, I mean,
You don't have any of that.
Still.
That's for sure. Is
Yeah.
Jeff Maconi. It looks like he was getting into some tight spaces right there on the outside of Jackson Casper. Looks like they're going to be able to single file out, though. Jeff Maconi up in position number 3. Casper back to 4th with Ortega just behind. And just a note here, Casper started at the tail as well. He's up 29 positions on paper. I believe it was more like 23 spots based off of how many guys actually started this one. But great drive here as Jeff Maconi has a little bit of a kiss with the outside wall.
Yeah, Jackson Casper looking to get another one for his trouble. Maconi is struggling with a bit of damage. We've got caution. Just as that fight was heating up between Casper, Ortega, and Maconi, it's a bit of a kerfuffle further back there. Stephen Waller's involved.
Oh, no. Stephen Waller once again going to get involved in this one. Is that the 24 of Curhan to his outside? Hopefully Curhan was an innocent bystander in this one, because he's usually is this the same thing that happened last time with the same car?
Oh.
That's the same car as last time. Oh my God.
Whoa! Joseph
Wow.
Water taking flight.
I didn't know water could fly like that.
I know.
He looked like rain out there.
Crazy. A tsunami came over
Wow.
one of those lanes.
But that incident with Stephen Waller, yeah, that was the exact same car that he was involved with on the exit of turn number 2 not too long ago that brought out a previous caution. Now the same thing practically happening at the end of the straightaway.
Yeah,
I wonder if they've had some previous run-ins. As just an update here, a couple drivers coming down pit road. Second place, Jordan Brinkley, Gavin Gleitzman, Michael Haffidason, Jeff Maconi, as well, of course, as Stephen Waller, Latham Joyner, and Joseph McWhorter. Here, William, why don't we go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll take you through the middle portions of tonight's money race here on Fast Fridays.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save.
And we are back, about to go green here at Richmond Raceway. It's the Maconi Fast Fridays money races for late model stock cars at Richmond. There are just 45 laps to go. We've got a century of laps on the cards, 55 of which have been completed. This lap 56, Brian Gravel has led from lights out so far. And with 45 laps to go, he's had another good restart. We are 5 wide, and that is Curran, that is Schneider. Schneider upside down, riding the wall, flipping, barrel rolling. Thomas Haley is involved as well. A massive accident off of turn 2. And that is going to put us under caution for yet another time, as Rick Schneider sent flying over the inside retaining wall there. We were 5 wide off turn 2. Let's have a look on the Maconi Entertainment replay. Curran was involved in that incident as well. They all stacked up 5 wide off there. And I believe that's Jordan Brinkley, Michael Curran, Thomas Haley gets hit there. by the 42 Jordan Booth, and that's probably the biggest ever crash I've seen in a late model. That was wild. Look on
Rick
board.
Schneider cleared 2 walls right there. We'll take a look on board here. There's 1 and there's 2. And got himself to a really weird spot too. Wow, that was a violent wreck right there for Rick Schneider. Looks like Jordan Brinkley and Michael Curran gonna come back down pit road on this cycle as well. Well, that was quite the incident.
That was certainly one of the incidents of all time, as Rick Schneider probably got a bit of a headache with that many spins and that many upside down impacts. Unfortunately, I think his night might just be done after that wreck. So, very, very unfortunate, but yeah, 5 wide off a turn 2. That was definitely something to see, and I don't think that was ever going to work.
There's something about short track racing where drivers feel like they can go wider than they usually can. It's absolutely insanity. For me, I mean, I called a race earlier this season at Kern County, and they went 6 wide in NASCAR trucks, and I thought that was absolutely insane. And seeing 5 wide here at Richmond, that's even more insane, honestly.
It's obscene how I mean, it's great for entertainment, if nothing else. Maybe not great for the bodywork.
Hey, Will, speaking of entertainment, why don't we bring up fan favorite Brayton Laster to have a quick word with you?
That's a great idea. Let's bring up Brayton Laster, driver of the 113. Brayton, got a copy. Me and Robert up in the booth.
Yeah, how's it going, fellas?
Well, we're having fun up here commentating this one. I don't know about you. It seems like in a very chaotic affair, you've managed to dodge most of the carnage. You're up 19 spots. You started 25th. Now looking potentially for a spot in the top 5. How are you feeling at 113?
Yeah, no, it's definitely been a very chaotic race. We played some pit strategy, got a little bit fresher rubber than most guys up here in the top 10, I feel like. Still don't know what I'm doing. We qualified like trash, we've raced like trash, and somehow we're inside the top 10 though. And that's some odd, I don't know if you guys caught it, that wreck in green 4 there, I was an absolute wheel, man. Perfect. I mean, I couldn't have dodged it any better.
It was definitely something to watch. I think we might have caught a couple angles of it, but we're just coming back to the green now. We're going to let you focus, but just quickly, what's your approach for these last 40 odd laps?
Oh, well, just like this green flag here, I'm going to try and not get run over from behind. No promises, as Tyler Bowers is already sniffing what I had for dinner tonight. And we're 4 wide going to turn 1. Not an ideal situation by any means. Going to sort it out and just survive, hopefully, is the name of the game.
Awesome, 10-4. Well, I think we're going to have to let you get back to it. You're under racing speed now. Good luck up there.
Thank you.
That was Brayton Laster. For those wondering what he had for dinner, it was most likely pizza.
He is certainly the pizza guy. I wonder what type of pizza it is. Oh, Harrison Whitehead's going around. That's going to be a yellow. He's off frame. Hopefully no one else has collected him.
It was a solo incident there, and for Whitehead, it's just not been his night here tonight in that 40/03 machine.
Certainly has not been a good night for Harrison Whitehead. You see, it's 3 wide there. Has Latham Joyner and Tyler Bowers either side of him there. It was almost contact with the 57 there. Michael Flitterson just behind him.
Oh, he got
hooked. You go. Got hooked.
He got sun dropped around on the racetrack.
He got sun dropped down the order, and I think it was Michael Flitterson there.
Michael Halfadason sent him around. Unfortunately for Harrison Whitehead, the street limit driver might be headed close to the incident limit here tonight.
Well, should we get a quick sit rep on Harrison Whitehead's incidents? He's currently at a big old hyphen on my screen. That's helpful. Thanks, Iris.
Yeah, that's what I got too. But he's doing a great job, anyways. He's stayed on the lead lap, still in the top 20. And just an update here on Brayton Laster. He was actually able to gain a spot while listening to you talk, Will. So pretty strong drive here so far by Brayton Laster, currently sitting in position number 6.
He's certainly doing very well on the 113 machine. Looks like survival, as Brayton said, it's the name of the game. It would seem the likes of Jeff Maconi as well, largely been able to avoid the chaos. They have been beneficiaries from the chaos. Obviously, the likes of Brian Gravel as well. Jackson Casper and Alex Ortega, they've been up front pretty much all night long. Ortega's worked his way through the field, Casper as well, but once they've sort of got up there... Yeah,
go ahead.
I was going to say, obviously, these guys, they've obviously worked through the field, so they've had to finagle their way through some of the corners, but it seems like once you get up to the front and you're able to maintain that track position, it seems like largely that kind of solidifies that comfortability for you because it means you're able to avoid those incidents. Brian Gravel obviously being the main case study, as it were, for that, having led from lights out so far. But go on, Rob, what was your point?
And the one thing that you were saying, I do want to expand on it, the fact that these guys worked their way up. Jackson Casper scored plus 31. Alexander Ortega plus 28. Jordan Booth in fourth, plus 22. Jared Davis in fifth, plus 22. Brayton Laster in position number 6, plus 19. So these guys have all gained a ton of spots. Latham Joyner in 10th, up 22 spots as well. So a lot of these guys that started at the back have been able to keep clean and work their way up towards the front. And it's kind of weird that this is one of those races where the guys to the middle to front of the track have been the ones that have been involved in the incidents. As we are green here tonight, Brian Gravel back on the loud pedal. Jackson Casper about to go 3 wide, it looks like, just behind him.
We've got just over a third of the race to go. 35 laps to go specifically. As Brayton Laster got a bit of pressure behind him there. He's on the outside there. Latham Joyner's going to hook the 08. And he's almost going to go upside down. Flitterson's involved there. 2 car incident. Another one's in the wall there on the inside. TJ Handley there. Almost up and over.
Wow. Brayton just turned TJ into a pizza roll just behind him.
Wow. Another big one. And yet again for, I want to say, about the 10th time tonight. Maybe more. We are again.
Yeah, it's only caution number 2. What you talking about? Brayton Laster was up on the high side. Looks like he might have got a piece of the outside wall. Then the TJ Handley machine reacts behind him. Latham Joyner doesn't get to the back. Wow. I didn't even notice that wreck.
That might be
no. I thought Harrison Wyatt was in that one again. But wow, that was a big hit there for Joseph McWhorter and Vinny Tigner up there ahead of them as well. Looks like it is night over for Joseph McWhorter and Michael Haffidace, and they're going to be out of this one here tonight. Looks like too much damage for both of those entries.
Yeah, Joseph McWhorter not been on the right side of some of these incidents. He's been sent every way to Sunday, and I think that might be the final nail in the coffin. A complete innocent bystander just got tagged and sent hard into the outside wall, and that is probably an instant engine blowout as soon as he hit the wall there. Obviously compounded getting hit by, I think that is the number 12 machine of Campbell as well. So
now,
definitely not done.
What do you think about talking to a guy that's kind of had a really up and down night so far? Was up towards the front, then to the back, then to the front, then to the back, currently residing in position number 14, Michael Curran.
Sounds like a good idea. Let's get him in here. Michael Curran, William and Robert up in the booth. You got a coffee?
Hey, William. What's going on, man?
Well, it's been certainly a chaotic affair, obviously, for yourself. You're down 12 spots since the start. You started second, you're now in 14th. But I think the main takeaway from this so far is that you have survived the carnage that we've seen tonight. Now you sit in 14th with about a third of the race still left to run. What can you expect to get out of this with seemingly not many laps remaining?
Yeah, I've survived, but not unscathed. I'm a bit hurting still. We'll see. Yeah, I really I think my main goal right now is to avoid the carnage, and hopefully I'm near the front at the end of these at the end here. I mean, the laps are ticking off so fast. I'm afraid I'm going to run out of time, but hopefully we can go green here a little bit before the next caution, and hopefully I can have a shot here at the end.
Yeah, that was another thing I was going to ask. Obviously, you have these sort of caution fests where you're not allowed much time to get up there. But do you think one green flag run is kind of what you need to start getting that 24 machine back up towards the front? Maybe have a shot at this.
Yeah, I need just a few laps to pick some positions off and then reset the field. So we'll see. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Right, we'll be going back green momentarily. So best of luck up there.
Appreciate it, William. Thank you.
That was Michael Curran, and we are back under green flag conditions here, Will. Let's see if he has an opportunity to work his way up towards the front as Brian Gravel leading the way. Jackson Casper, Alexander Ortega currently trailing just behind him, with Jared Davis behind them as well, but side by side for the top. Actually, that's for the second spot. They were side by side, Will, as Brian Gravel has pulled away already.
Yeah, Brian Gravel doing a brilliant job here. He has definitely been the class in the field in terms of pace. Already got up to half a second clear, 6 tenths clear nearly of Jackson Casper in second place, who himself has got a decent gap over Alexander Ortega. Third place there, Jared Davis and Jordan Booth. Oh, that bang indoors. Jordan Booth in the wall. They survive, though. They live to tell the tale as Matt Mingo joins the party. There is in P6. There is Latham, Joyner, Brayton Laster, and Tyler Bowles all arriving on the scene at speed. Battles heating up, aggression rising.
Yeah, Mingo looking to score himself a bingo here tonight and pick up a Maconi Setup Shop Fast Friday victory. Currently residing in position number 6. Just an update, Josh Cossack has headed to pit road, so issues for one of the front runners here tonight. But watching Mingo currently encased in a battle here with Jordan Booth, goes all the way down to the inside. That's Latham Joyner just behind them there in that 30 machine. Joyner up to 7th now as Mingo slides up the track. Joyner going to go to the bottom. 3 wide, it's 5th, 6th, and 7th all together. Is Joyner going to slide up?
Oh.
Wow, what a move by Joyner. That's not going to go over well as around goes Booth, and we're going to go under caution once again.
Latham Joyner with a big bonsai move into turn 3, and it looked like that took a turn for the worse through the mid corner there. Jordan Booth getting punished for it as himself, and I believe that was a 26th of Thomas Haley as well, spinning down towards the pit wall on the front straight. Caution with 26 to go. Let's have another look at that incident. That was a 42 of Jordan Booth, the 12 of Matt Mingo there, scored as the 33 on the scoring tower. We're encased in a battle. They got loose. The 55.
No, I'm going to call this. It wasn't getting loose, Will. That was aggression there by Latham Joyner. He slid up. Yeah. He slid up, pushed the Mingo machine up the track, and then that kind of led to a door-to-door tap there from Booth, and Mingo sent Booth around, and Jordan Booth probably not going to be too happy, if I'm honest with you.
No. I think that move was definitely enabled by Mingo and Booth fighting up. I think both of them just fighting each other enabled Latham Joyner to get to
They opened the inside, then, yes. Yeah, they opened the inside for sure.
But Joyner definitely sent it maybe a little bit too hard.
He kind of booted a door open that was already cracked. I guess is what you could say. But just a quick note here, Mingo, Laster, Tigner, and Bell all going to take it pit side, as well as Jordan Booth. So these drivers all still within the top 20, because of course the field has dropped down just a little bit here. Jordan Brinkley, I thought he was coming down pit road, but he's just using the apron here to save a little bit of fuel in that machine. And that's not really something that's going to be too much of an issue for these guys here tonight. That's what we've come to discover. Fuel, not an issue. Tires, going to be something that you want to keep an eye on. And these guys do have unlimited sets, so why not?
Yeah, absolutely. We have our informant on the inside, Brayton Laster, sharing some notes during the allotted practice time, of course. Told us really fuel isn't an issue, but obviously tyres, as in any stock car race, can always be a factor. You know, you're wearing your stuff too hard, you'll go backwards. You'll fall like a rock. It's that balancing act that you play really in any sort of oval racing discipline, and it's shone tonight even through all the carnage of the cautions. You've seen guys fall back, come forward from having saved their tyres, so it's always a factor. I think definitely not as much of a factor as you might anticipate with all the other flags we're having. It seems like survival and track position is of utmost priority to the likes of Brian Gravel and Jackson Casper up near the front, but you know, you can never discount the importance of having a good set of tyres at any given time.
And that's definitely a great point here, Will. And I do want to point this out, that guys like Tyrell Foster, Vinny Tigner, Jordan Booth at the tail of the field, they're still going to have opportunities to get back up there and potentially compete for the win, as we are back under green flag conditions already, and things are getting a little bit racy up there at the front of the pack. Brian Gravel, of course, has been able to pull away once again. We're already looking 3 wide just behind, though, between Ortega, Brinkley, and Davis. It's Davis on the high side, Ortega in the middle, Brinkley down on the bottom. Now Latham Joyner going to get up into that fight as well. You can see Brayton Laster in the background of that previous shot in that bright green machine. He came down pit road. He is just about to break back into the top 10 here momentarily, as it looks like behind Jeff Maconi, it's an absolute hornet's nest.
Absolutely, as you're seeing just behind Jeff Maconi, as you mentioned, the hornet's nest, Mingo Curran, and I believe that is the 38 of Potts there as well, involved in that 3 wide affair. There's Cossack as well, trying to enter the fray on the inside of Brayton last day, so battles all over the track. They see just on the left of your screen there, Ortega and Brinkley, I believe that is. Sorry, Ortega and Davis, pardon me, going at it for, I believe that is 4th place as the 38, just powering past Brayton last there into turn 3.
Well, and the one thing about Josh Kozik to point out here, he has a very quick car, but he is, I believe, 3 laps down at this point to the race leaders. So he's just out there really just kind of battling for his own pride at this point, not really able to gain. Oh, big breaker. Wow.
That's a big
Curran,
one.
the 57 of Bowers. Maconi was in that one as well. Alexander Ortega going to get a piece. I believe Brayton Laster might have stomped on the pepperonis a little bit too hard there as well. Oof.
Oh, Ortega is destroyed. If he has a fast repair still at his disposal, he'll obviously be using that now with something like this loss. But we'll see what happened on the replay here.
Ortega, Curran, and Bowers are the 3 drivers with required damage at this point. Watching the incident here between Ortega and Bowers, currently working their way through turns 1 and 2 on that shot. Ortega comes up into Bowers. Bowers nowhere to go. Curran nowhere to go. Maconi gonna get jacked up in that one. Actually, oh, Brayton Laster into the side of Jeff Maconi. That's even worse, as looks like Ortega is most likely going to be done for the night. I'll just take a quick gander. No, Alexander Ortega did have a fast repair. Michael Curran did not, so Michael Curran done for the night. Ortega still in the fight.
Yeah, Ortega absolutely not giving up. At least that car was destroyed. But if he has another incident like that, absolutely it's DNF season for Alexander Ortega. But for now, he is still in the fight. He'll be scored on the lead lap, thankfully, so still has a chance at winning it. But it's going to be difficult to dethrone Brian Gravel, who has been dominant. Both, as much as you can attribute Brian Gravel leading as many laps as he has to the fact that there have been,
I think he still has the pace to do it, though. Will.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I'm saying he has absolutely had the pace. You can attribute the cautions to it as much as you like, but he's been so much faster than everyone else. Even, you know, over the course of a lap, he's multiple tenths quicker than the rest of the field. He just takes off into the sunset. So I think even if you have a long green run, hard to dethrone him. I think at this point he's definitely looking like trying to fend off the commentator's curse, but he looks like a shoo-in for the race victory plan. Like, should it keep going like this?
Quick update on the top 10 as they run. Brian Gravel, Jordan Brinkley, Jackson Casper, Latham Joyner, and Matt Mingo. That's top 5. Justin Potts, Jeff Maconi, Vinny Tigner, Gavin Gleitzman, and Tyrell Foster, the top 10. Then it's Jordan Booth, Jared Davis, Robbie Ardrey back on the lead lap, Tyler Bowers, Alex Ortega, and Brayton Laster rounding out the cars on the lead lap. As the pace cars off, we're going green with 16 laps to go.
Yeah, it'll be coming to 15 to go at the line. The ticker just updating on the top left of your screen there. As Brinkley looking for potentially the race winning pass on Brian Gravel, but that will not be easily achieved though. Latham Joyner up to a race high position number 3, looking to try and enter himself into the battle. Focus though on Jeff Maconi. He's got Potts just in front of him battling Vinny Tigner. He's got, I believe that's Tyrell Foster and Jordan Booth up to his inside. They are 3 abreast going into turn number 1.
3 abreast around Jeffrey Maconi, Vinny Tigner, Jordan Booth, Justin Potts all ensued in that battle. The one I'm watching is Latham Joyner catching up to Jordan Brinkley. We'll see what he can do here in these closing laps now that he's had an opportunity to get up into that top 5, not really having to work through too much traffic. But you know Brinkley and Gravel are both going to put up a real fight, even if Joyner does find himself as the quickest car on the track. A bit of calamity behind them, though, as it looks like Justin Potts and Tyrell Foster going to make a little bit of contact there. Jordan Booth going to be involved in that one as well. But everything stays clean. Everything stays green. But one thing to point out, Jeff Maconi, looks like the damage is affecting him a little bit here, Will, as we are quickly approaching just 10 to go, 11 to go at the line this time.
Absolutely, the lap's really starting to tick off quickly. It seems like we're finally seeing a bit of green flag running. Let's not jinx it, knock on wood. If you have it at your disposal, as we see Jeff Maconi there, as you mentioned, with that damage. Falling backwards just a little bit, currently scored P11 there, just behind Jared Davis on the outskirts of the top 10. Still fighting, staying in the fight, but TJ Hanley just behind him on the racetrack, not behind him in terms of position, might be bearing down on him before long.
As we're watching the battles throughout the field, looks like Joyner gonna work his way through a little bit of traffic. Josh Kossick gonna go around, and we're about to be under caution once again.
Vinny Tigner
That
getting
is
carried.
a big one.
Oh dear, Maconi's in it, Booth is in it, as Bowers to the inside wall. I want to say that's Tyrell Foster as well.
Yeah, Tyrell Foster was in that one. Bowers, Booth, multiple others involved. Costa got hooked. That's what happened right there. You're gonna see it momentarily. That 44 machine. Actually, he might have been struggling just a little bit. Yeah, just watch the 44 here at the bottom of turns 1 and 2.
It's definite damage.
Oh, he goes around by himself. Never mind.
Goes around by himself. Matt Mingo's almost involved. Vinny Tigner. And just in avoidance, they collect Josh Kostek, has Bowers and Booth getting sent to the inside wall. Innocent bystanders see Vinny Tigner there. Almost went on.
Hey, this is interesting right here.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Jackson Casper, Justin Potts, not involved in that incident, but they have come down pit road for a fresh set of tires here in the closing stages. Interesting. I wasn't expecting that.
There. Obviously, the likes of Brian Gravel, I think, is the only one to have not pit. I think he has stayed on that same set of tires the entire time.
He is the only driver in the field not to come down pit road. Everyone else has now made at least one stop. This one being Jackson Casper's first pit stop of the night.
Well, we'll see if that tyre advantage that he will have, obviously, Gravel has put some wear into those tyres natural over these 90 laps with the sporadic green flag running that we have had. So we'll see if he's able to capitalise on that tyre advantage that he is definitely going to have. 7 laps to go, though. That's only about 2 minutes. So he really has to get on with it if he wants a chance at it. But if you do the same thing as the leader, you're almost guaranteed to sit behind him all race long. So he has to try something.
The one thing that the guys that just came down pit road really need, for like Jackson Casper, Justin Potts, etc., they need this to stay green. If it doesn't stay green, they've just thrown positions out the window. But at the same point, they don't really care about positions. These guys are just here to get the win tonight. That's all that matters. They want to get up there. They want their shot at either the trophy or the 250. As we're coming to green this time, 6 laps to go. Pace cars off. Green flags out. Brian Gravel with a good jump out front, but Jordan Brinkley staying with him this time. The 77 machine with probably the best start we've seen out of him. The bumper going to come into play this time.
Well, Jordan Brinkley has to capitalise wherever he can. He did really, really well to stay with Brian Gravel. Let's see if he decides to deploy the bumpers. We're 3 wide almost there. Really taking a look to the inside of Gavin Gleitzman, who himself is on the inside of Brayton Laster there. A little 3-way fight there for, I think that is around 8th place. They're still 3 abreast there. Jeff Maconi looking to enter the fray with a little better looking car there as the 20 of Jared Davis. Now we're under caution, and you would have to assume that this will be the first of the 3 green-white checkers we have allotted for tonight.
This could be a natural green-white checkered if race control flips this to 2 to go this time. A big hit there for Jared Davis. I don't think anyone else really got involved in that one afterwards. It was close for Brayton Laster, but he was able to get on by. And for Davis, likely game over for him here tonight. I know Tyrell Foster has called it an evening after getting caught up in a couple incidents there as well. But for Davis, he is serving a meatball flag, and I believe he's already taken his fast repair here tonight. So either way, Brian Gravel, Jordan Brinkley, Matt Mingo, Latham Joyner, Alex Ortega, the top 5. Vinny Tigner, Gavin Gleitzman, Brayton Laster, Jeff Maconi, and Jackson Casper. That's the top 10, followed by Justin Potts, Robbie Ardrey, and Jared Davis.
So the lap's really winding down now, as you mentioned, Robert. This might be a natural going check. With 3 to go, still single file, so I think this will take up the first
and
GWC.
Just a note here from race control, Latham Joyner has just been assessed an EOL penalty, being at fault in the latest incident. So he has gone to the rear of the field. Latham Joyner with some drama in the late stages of this one.
That's certainly going to be.
And pace cars off. We're going green. This is a natural green white checker. We're green, and they're side by side for the top spot.
I thought this is Jordan Brinkley's best chance here. Into turn 1, has to capitalise, has to get aggressive, use the bumper if you so dare. There he goes! Moves Brian Gravel up the way. Jordan Brinkley might be getting to the lead for the first time tonight. Can he finally dethrone Brian Gravel? He's to the lead now. But how does Brian Gravel respond? White flag, this time switch over, Robert. 1 to go from Richmond.
Jordan Brinkley up top, Brian Gravel down on the bottom, side by side into 1 and 2. They lean on each other, working their way through first and second corners off of 2. Gravel with the advantage. Brinkley up top, little bit of door swiping. There's the head for 3. Bumper gets into the way again. Here comes Mingo. Matt Mingo to the inside, and here he comes. Checkered flag. Matt Mingo takes the top spot. Where did he come from?
Led one lap. Led the most important one. Matt Mingo wins the money race at Richmond. Money Mingo, baby. Come on. Wow.
Money Mingo gets it done. Wow. He kept himself right where he needed to be and took the top spot. What a drive by Money Matt Mingo to get it done here tonight. Ortega second, Brinkley third.
And Brian Gravel, after leading literally 99 of the 100 lap tonight, must be absolutely raging at how that has gone down. You can argue of how aggressive Brinkley was being, well, that's over the top, but he's lost that in a heartbreaking fashion as Brian Gravel, arguably the fastest car on night. But Matt Mingo, he crossed the finish line first. He is going to have his choice of either $250 or a meter high trophy.
Wow. William White, that was insanity. He didn't lead 1 lap. He led 1 corner and got it done here tonight. That's all he needed to do. That's incredible. Let's step away real quick, and when we come back, we'll go through the race results and talk to your podium finishers, Matt Mingo, Alex Ortega, and Jordan Brinkley. We'll be right back.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Well, Will, that was an exciting finish if I've ever seen one right there. Money Matt Mango getting it done here tonight at Richmond. Let's take a look at the Fast Friday results here tonight. Mingo takes the top spot over Alexander Ortega. Jordan Brinkley going to come home in that 3rd spot with Vinny Tigner and Brian Gravel. Gravel led, I want to say 99 out of 100 laps here tonight, Will. Let me actually just verify that here real quick. 98 out of the 100 laps for Brian Gravel, comes home 5th. The Pizza Man, Brayton Laster in 6th, Jackson Casper 7th, Gavin Gleitzman 8th, Justin Potts in 9th, and Jeff Maconi going to round out the top 10. Why don't you take us through to position number 20?
Let's look a little bit further back. Robbie Ardrey there. 4.5 seconds back in the 127. He'll finish 11th. Campbell just behind him in 12th. Jared Davis, last one on the lead lap. He finished 13th, 17 seconds off the leader. 14th, Latham Joyner, embroiled in some late race controversy, manifesting itself in an EOL penalty for the driver of the 30. He finishes 2 laps down. Jonathan Sellers, 4 laps down, finishes out the top 15. Behind them, Tyler Bowers, involved in another massive accident towards the end of the race, finishes in 16th. Tyrell Foster finishes 17th, 8 laps down. Jordan Booth, 10 laps down, 18th. TJ Handley, 11 down in 19th. And Josh Cossack, the first non-finisher of the evening, 15 laps down in P20.
Taking a look at 21st tonight, Michael Curran brings it home ahead of Harrison Whitehead in 22nd. Michael Haflidason in 23rd. Joseph McWhorter, 24th. Rick Schneider, 25th. Thomas Haley, Stephen Waller, Jared Epker, and Noah Turpak going to round out the rest of our starters here tonight. And Will, why don't we go ahead and kick off some podium interviews with the second place driver, Alexander Ortega.
Absolutely, Alexander Ortega. Second place finish. It's William and Robert up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep, I got you.
Wow, you were definitely the big mover of the race. You started 31st. You gained 29 spots. You came home with a silver medal. What do you think you needed to take the race win tonight from a seemingly dominant Brian Gravel? Obviously, ended up going to Matt Mingo at the end. What do you think you needed?
I needed to not be friends with Matt. I had a nose on him entering 3, and I was in a different voice chat with him. He's been my spotter for a lot of these, so we're good friends. And I had a nose on him going into 3, and he kind of chopped down, and I backed out of it to not wreck him. And so, not something I would have done if he was any of the other guys, but that's kind of all I really needed there, since the top 2 kind of took each other out. Perfectly happy with the second place finish to him, though. He was my spotter last week at Iowa with the SRX, and he's been around to help me out with a lot of these, so it's cool to see him get it done.
Obviously, you've been in a few of these Fast Fridays races to date. This obviously finishes off the April to June, July season for Fast Fridays. The new season schedule will be announced very, very soon. But just looking back on these past couple of months or so, or indeed any Fast Fridays running that you've done, what would you say has been your favorite race or some of your favorite moments from the running you've done in Fast Fridays?
I don't know. I'd have to look back at the schedule. I ran the Homestead truck one. There was a cool ripping the top and taking the lead from Malik Ray. It was definitely pretty cool. I mean, I obviously burned my tires off doing that and fell back pretty quick, but it was definitely a moment to kind of enjoy. The Talladega Xfinity race was a fun one. I mean, the racings. I mean, this was a rough one in terms of racing. I mean, it's like taking the Gen 4 car in terms of how the front and rear ends line up, and then making the car have so much grip that's really packed up for restarts. And it was hard to get a good green flag run in that whole race. But no, there's definitely been some fun moments and good finishes in racing, and so I mean, it's hard to pick a few favorites from the few that I've ran.
Obviously, a strong performance tonight ends in silver for the 10 machine. Any sponsors, partners, people you want to thank for getting that 10 machine up onto the podium tonight?
Not really, no. Thank you to... Yeah, no, I'm not. There's no one.
So one-man show over at the 10 crew, fair enough. Well, congratulations again on that second place, Alex. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nobody to thank here tonight for Alex Ortega, but let's go ahead and bring in our race winner. He's been dubbed Money, Matt Mingo, here tonight. Matt, walk us through those final couple of corners. What were you thinking from behind the wheel of that machine?
Well, the last few laps, I figured what happened was gonna happen. It was looking rough with the front two. I was just hoping that Alex didn't try to push the issue, which he was saying he wasn't gonna. Big thanks to him for not pushing it, but yeah,
that was absolutely wild ahead of you. But I gotta ask, did you have a plan going into those final couple of corners to maybe have that one swing at getting those spots from those guys ahead of you?
coming to the white flag, I had it pretty well in my mind that I was gonna try to set up 1 and 2 to be on their bumpers into 3 and try to push it 3 wide bottom. because the front stretch here, you got to be on the yellow line to get any run down the straightaway, and didn't really work too well coming out of 2. That's probably the worst corner for me, at least, on this track. And then the guy on the inside took the was it gravel high, and then wrecked each other, and I just had my opening.
And how excited were you when you saw them wreck ahead of you? Or were you white knuckling the wheel going around the corners, just making sure that you got to the line and you took that top spot before anyone could battle back at you?
It was definitely shock and white knuckling for at least to like few car lengths from the checkered. I knew that Alex is probably going to treat me pretty good. He was probably going to pass me. Probably would have been clean. But other than that, I think it was just down to us two, and yeah.
And the question, definitely interesting, Matt. The question that everyone wants to know, what are you going to take? You going to take the trophy, or are you going to take the $250 cash?
As enticing as that trophy is, I got to go with the cash.
Well, I kind of thought he was going to go with the cash. His name is Money Matt Mingo now, so he's got to collect that dough here tonight. $250 richer for Matt Mingo. And Matt, any sponsors you want to thank, shout-outs you want to give for people that got it done with you here tonight?
I mean, I got to thank a lot of the guys that just do officials with me with the street stocks. A lot of my buddies from Wiscasset that, teach me the wreck avoidance end of it. But also got to thank Alex. He, as I'm pretty sure he said in his interview, I spotted for him. He kind of brought this to my attention, and the late model's obviously a pretty decent car for me. So it was, in my mind, kind of meant to be.
And it definitely did work out for you here tonight, Matt. Congratulations on the victory, and we hope to see you back in future Fast Fridays events, trying to pick up that money once again.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you, guys.
Well, Will, he was saying thank you as I sent him off here tonight. But Will, final thoughts from you after what was a great Fast Friday event here tonight?
It was certainly a carnage-filled affair. We had many cautions, but that ending, I don't think anyone could have predicted that. A quarter of the way, halfway through the race, you're thinking, yeah, Gravel's got this absolutely locked. I told the commentator's curse, I did say with about 20 to go, he looks like a shoo-in for the victory with how it was going. And then that happens, he ends up 5th. So, yeah, the commentator's curse strikes yet again. Matt Mingo, the beneficiary of that one. Whether he had it on raw pace or not can be debated, but ultimately he crossed the finish line first. You have to be there to capitalize on the chaos in front of you. So it's a fully deserved victory, nonetheless, for the man we've now dubbed Money Matt Mingo. So he's $250 richer.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Matt Mingo on the victory. They don't ask how you got it done. They just see that you did, and that's all that matters here tonight for Matt Mingo. But on behalf of all of us here tonight, we want to thank our race sponsor, Maconi Setup Shop, as well, of course, to iRacing for hosting us typically on their Twitch and YouTube pages for some of our great action here at Maconi Entertainment. Calling the action here tonight was myself, Robert Hill Jr., alongside William White in the booth, with David Kreutz producing here this evening. Of course, we also want to thank Maconi Competizone, one of our great partners here for Maconi Fast Fridays. Of course, we also need to thank all of our viewers for tuning in tonight and all season long here with these Fast Fridays events. Hopefully you do stay tuned to all of our social media pages for an update on when we will resume Fast Fridays coming up here in a few weeks. Thanks to all the team here at Maconi Entertainment for bringing the racing action to you. And of course, tonight has been a production of Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you at the checkered flag. Good night, everybody. F.
Yeah, I'll go to Pocono. I'll get your autograph.
Kyle Busch is over there. Screw him. Come see me.
Come see
I
Bobby
have a
Martin.
better chance of winning a cup race this year.
That is true.
I feel so bad for him, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Who's
Hello,
there?
Jeff.
You're live.
Oh. Are we
Yeah, you're
talking?
live. Don't